Hello. The title of this podcast is Life is a Precious Thing. So, what are you doing with it? It's a question that I would have never asked myself many years ago. And had I asked myself that question, what I would have said was, you know, what do you mean? What am I doing with it? I'm out here achieving, I'm trying to do good things in the world. But most of my efforts with life would have been to achieve, and I would have had a lot of evidence of my achievement from sports growing up to achievements in that arena to being doing well in school to career choices that were very positive and filled with a lot of success. That's what I was doing with life. But those moments were not the majority of the moments in life. What were the majority was what was happening in between. It's like in between the vacations, how are you living? Are you living in a way that's looking forward to the vacation? Or are you present to all the moments that lead to the vacation? Or in the vacation, when you're a wise person, it's not even on their radar because they're not looking past this moment of life. And it took me a while to get to that point where every single day I was making the most of life. I was treating it as this precious thing, not squandering one bit of it. And even those moments that my mind would say are undesirable, that are falling well short of my expectations, I was squandering those. I didn't see those as there's good in this moment. And the good may just being privileged with the gift of life to experience this moment as it unfolds, even if it's a moment that is challenging in many, many ways. And I've learned to do that. I've learned to treat life as this precious thing. And so there are certain things that I do to set myself up so that I can be aware of the moment in front of me, so that I can appreciate life. And I take care of the physical things first. I think Maslow, when he talks about the hierarchy of needs, before you can get to the point to where you really start to look at your inner self and the meaning of life and really trying to self-actualize, before you get to any of that, you have these basic needs that you need to take care of, surviving, food, clothing, shelter, those basic needs. And then once you have done that, then you can start to look at other things like, the things that you want to contribute or do or achieve. I stopped at the achievement for the most part and trying to do a little good out there, trying to be positive. But if I looked at how positive I was, there was a ton of complaining that accompanied the positive intentions that I had, almost kind of like negating it. So when I think about those needs being satisfied, I get to the next step. And this next step is where the practice has really helped me. And now I'm at the point to whatever moment shows up, I am aware of how special it is. And I have to, again, set myself up to appreciate that moment, however it shows up, not wishing for it to be different, not worrying that it's not what I wanted. And getting my sleep is part of that equation so that I'm physically, taken care of so I can appreciate this moment. It's hard to do it when I'm tired. So getting my 8 hours of sleep, eating well, exercising, all those things all contribute and set me up. And then not then, but in company or concert with that, I spend my time training this mind of mine, training it to do what I tell it to do. It's not the boss of me. For the longest time, I was so identified with my thoughts that whatever my mind said, I was like, I just followed it. This person is wrong. They don't like my ideas. They should have shared the credit with this. They ignored me. They must be talking about me. I wonder what they're thinking. This is not right. Like all those things I thought were me. So I had to train that thing to not bother me. And I've done that because when it pipes up, which is rare now, it doesn't pipe up a lot now. It's not chirping all the time because I have really regain the power in this dynamic, in this relationship, to where when it does pipe up, I learn to lean back, to let it pass. Those thoughts about other people, about the situation in front of me, about it not being fair, about whatever the issue is that is bothering me, I learned not to be bothered by it. And at first, it was a challenge, and then became less of a challenge because I stayed committed to it, stay committed to whatever moment that was in front of me, whatever was unfolding. I was not going to let it bother me. I didn't suppress any emotions. I didn't do anything like that. And my North Star was remembering that life is precious. So what am I going to do with it? 4 years in the Marine Corps being stationed in Yuma, I squandered so much of that time, so much. I see parents who have children at home and they're so worried about the things that are trivial that they miss out on the time they have with that young person. The same thing with their significant other. The significant other could have this quirk that really bothers you, but you're so fixated on it that you miss out on the beauty in that relationship. Now, that's not every relationship is not like that, but while you're there, be present to that moment. Be aware that life is precious. And so you start to do these things and you start to see things very differently. The pandemic, again, I brought up before, this was such a great practice for so many people. It was an amazing practice, and people missed it. They didn't see life as precious in that moment for a lot of people because they were so upset that this mandate shouldn't be happening, or it should be enforced, or this person is not following rules, or this person is a rule follower and they're wrong. All the while, life is steady flowing by, but you're not flowing with it. You're going against the current. You're not treating life as this precious thing. And so those 2 or 3 years, you missed out on. And I'm committed to not missing out on those anymore. So for me, when the question is posed that life is precious, so what am I doing about it? What am I doing with it? I'm appreciating every single moment of it and living it to its fullest, to its fullest. And at the end of each day, I go to bed and I say, today was a good run. If I don't wake up tomorrow, I knew that the day before was a good run. And if I do wake up, oh man, what am I going to do with this moment? I don't care what shows up. What my mind says is wrong or should be different. It has nothing to do with me. I'm going to treat life as a precious thing. And I hope you will too.